Welcome back to the Weekend Warriors Show Recap Podcast. I'm Ty from the Unemployed Architects. So had a pretty busy week. It's been pretty wild. I don't know if there's one X factor, I guess, but I'll get to that in a few minutes. But so I've had 4 shows. I didn't get anything recorded podcast wise for the last 4. So I played at Oliver's North in Peoria. I played at Lake Road Inn in Hudson. That was last weekend. And then this last weekend, I played Friday at Cruisin's on War in Peoria and Crafted in Bloomington. So that's kind of where I'll get started. Oliver's North in Peoria. That one was a fun show. It was very hot. I feel like it sounded good. I was having a lot of technical difficulties throughout the night. Had to kind of redo my whole pedal board after that night. But overall, the show went well. Went over the time that was allotted. Got, a good amount of people were into it. And I felt sloppy. I felt like not great performance-wise, but the crowd was into it enough that it didn't really matter. So it was good. And that's always a cool place because they have a really nice beer garden. Though they did get rid of the giant tree that was in the middle that always had cool lights on it and stuff. So that was Friday. Kind of warmed me up really good for the Saturday show at Lake Road Inn in Hudson. I feel like I sounded just really, really tight that night, really solid. But a lot better than normal. And Lo was there, which was fun. She did really good. And friend from Pontiac came, and he kind of stepped up our game a little, maybe just because we were happy that he was there and made us a little bit more excited to play. And overall, just good feedback from the crowd, and things are coming together. I've been doing the stickers and the magnets. I've been making those throughout the week, and those have been very helpful for getting the good word out and getting maybe some people to toss me a few bucks, which is nice. And that was a 3-hour show, and it just, flew by. It just felt good. And then, so I had a couple things weird happen the next week. I did this thing called Rockstar Singing Telegrams. Hit me up to do a musical telegram to somebody in Champaign. So it's pretty interesting. I played 2 songs and kind of shortened one of them. One of them was just Happy Birthday, and I got paid a little money to do all that. So it was just weird because it was U of I's move-in day, and there was just it seemed like thousands of people around, and finding the person I was supposed to, sing at was a little tough, and it was definitely my first time, so it was a little bit awkward, but it was a job for music that I could do fairly easily, so had to take it. And that was interesting. I've had a phone meeting that week as well with it's called Century Music Group. And I don't know if any of you listened to my previous podcast about getting scammed, but I'm always a little weary that when I hear anything good, any good news as a musician, I'm always like, well, what's their angle? They because we're easy to take advantage of because we want the dream so bad, which I again talked a lot about that almost happening to me a few weeks ago. So I don't know. I had a meeting with this. It's a small record label in Nashville, and interested in potentially working with me. Not sure that it's legitimate, but I did a little Googling, and I don't know. Seems semi-legit. I don't know. Worth a shot. I'll just wait till they start to ask me for some money, and then I'll go ahead and bow out, I suppose. But until then, I'll keep something going with them. Keep a little. It'd be really cool to get some backing to do some recording, not have to. And the guy said they dabble in a lot of things. So, I mean, if I could get somebody to manage and promote and book and record, just kind of do the music part only, that would be amazing. But we'll see what happens. So that was on Tuesday. We've had a house guest for like a little over a week now. Ryan Wolf has been staying with us, and we've been trying to record our EP, which I've talked about wanting to do for a really, really long time. So we're a week in. We have almost one track done. It's not a lot, but our goal, at least the minimum, would be to get 3 done, and then maybe work on a couple more at some other time. But while he's here, we're really trying to. So that was part of the reason that my week's been just crazy. Plus that singing Telegram and the label meeting, and then of course the shows. So the next weekend I was at Cruisins and War Memorial in Peoria, and Doug came and played that one, and it was hot. It was probably the hottest show I played this year when I got there to set up anyway. And I was setting up, and I got about plugging the last thing in, maybe like 20 minutes before we were supposed to perform, and one of the waitresses came out and said, I think they want you to play inside. So that was an unpleasant surprise, I suppose. But I went in and I talked to him, and I said, it would be, since it's nice out, and they seemed like they wanted me to play on the patio the last time. So I just assumed it was on the patio again, and nobody messaged me or told me, and I'd been there for a long time. So I just played on the patio. I think that was probably the right choice. It was very busy in there when we got there, and I think it would have just been a loud mess kind of inside, and it was a little overcrowded. And then as soon as the dinner rush was gone, it was kind of thin inside. I think their main concern was they didn't have a bartender out in the back and at their little beer garden bar. But it went fine. It wasn't a crazy night. It was pretty, I would say, kind of indifferent of a show. I couldn't really grab anybody's attention, but there were a couple tables that were more than slightly paying attention and giving us a little bit of reaction every once in a while. But it was just hard to keep them interested. I don't know. And I felt sloppy, but we got through it, and I think it was, ended up okay. And that, Friday night shows always seem a little bit more rough than the Saturday, because the Saturday night show this last week at Crafted, or yesterday, it was good. It was I don't know. I had a lot of fun at that show, and it was a weird start. It was. I got there. There was a few people kind of spread out, not very many, but I got there pretty early, and then I got everything set up. Right after I got everything set up, and this is after I'd talked to the manager about if the weather, if it rained, did they want me inside? They said they could potentially do it inside, but we'll check right before, and the radar said 0% chance. So I set up all my gear, and it started raining. I was in kind of a covered spot, so it didn't really make too much of a difference. But for me, obviously that's if I'm playing outside to a patio or beer garden, the weather's going to make a big difference than whether people sit outside. So there was literally 0 people there when I was about to start. There was kind of a crowd of maybe high schoolers playing volleyball in the courts in the rain. But, they weren't really there to see me, and I'm sure that a lot of the music I play wouldn't really appeal so much to that crowd. I don't know. Maybe it would, but I knew that they would probably be gone pretty quick after I started, so wasn't super excited about it. I mean, looking forward to the show up until it started raining. It got kind of bad, and it only rained in that art side of town, because my house or the apartment in Bloomington, fine, no rain at all. but across town, it was just, well, it wasn't pouring, but it wasn't sprinkling yet. It was in between, and it was extended. But right before I started, a bunch of people kind of started filing in, and I think the relief of that just put me in a good mood. And it was just fun. Ryan Wolf came out for a bit. He played a few tunes. Had another guy named John come up and play a couple tunes. And, they both sounded good. And, I don't know. I was just in the zone, kind of. I won't say I played perfect, but it was definitely... I was able to kind of mess around a little, I had a lot more wiggle room. Like, I was just in the zone of, like, if I did mess up, I could cover it perfectly, and played a lot of lead guitar, which was fun, and I broke a couple strings, which was a little bit of a, but the second time I restrung it, and I had somebody time me, and it was under 2 minutes to get that string on, so that was pretty good. But I don't know, just had a good time. It was just like about 95% of my cylinders were firing, and I was singing good. Something different, just, I don't know if it's just one of those realizations you have over time, but a lot of the times when I'm not singing my best, I think I tighten up, and I think that I just assume that I'm flat, so I like push maybe a little harder or go. But lately, I've had this different mentality of just relax, just calm down, breathe. Like, not. I'll get in the habit of over breathing too, or like I run out of breath on stuff. But so being more conscious of that, and just like I'm sitting now a lot more. I don't know. I just feels like even my bad shows are better than my old good shows. So I don't know. It's been a blast. I really had fun on that last one, so that really kind of perked me up for the week. But that's pretty much it. Nothing more exciting. Record label stuff. I'm sure if anything ever comes of that, I'm sure I'll be the first one to tell you. But I really don't know. I'm skeptical. But hopefully you'll be getting the CP done, and then we'll have that to put out. I finally got all the stuff approved for the vinyl release of the Pandemic Relief EP, the live EP. So that I'm going forward with getting that stuff printed. I got this pretty sweet banner made, or I guess it's more of a poster, but for shows, which is pretty cool. It has the band name really big and readable from a distance, which our other sign was not. And it has all our links, like follow us on, and it has the icons of Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, YouTube, all our socials, same way. And then it has scannable QR codes, so it goes directly to the website if somebody just wants to come up and scan it. But and then I've been going pretty hard with the magnets and the stickers and stuff. So all that stuff has been doing a great, upping my game a little bit, which has been nice to do. It just feels like I have more time to focus and all that. So just been having fun, but busy. I always think that, since I'm not working, just doing music, working as a musician, I should have like 40 extra hours in a week, but I do not. I guess I get a little more sleep, so I'm more rested, which makes me more productive ultimately anyway. But I don't know. I guess that's all that's been going on. So, as always, I appreciate anybody who takes the time to listen, and I will talk to you next time. Have a good one. Bye.